All right, all right. Looks like we got some news. Looks like we got some news. Time to gamble. All right, so we're hitting VWAP on this bounce. Special shout out to Jesse, who that other JC who woke me up. I got a text from that other JC. Markets crashing. Canada tariffs. Wake up. I turned that laptop on as soon as I could. As soon as I heard Canada, I was like, Canada's not going to stick. We know from a couple of weeks ago, Canada news doesn't stick. It's just a knee-jerk reaction. So I wake up, I'm rushing to turn the laptop on. I see the bounce here. Hopped on a little long with the mini for 30 points there. I think that other JC had a VWAP target, so he was a little more aggressive. He was all the way up to, here, 930. So you got some nice points there too. Nicely done. All right, let me get this. I was literally in bed until I got news or a text from that other JC on the Canada news, and rushed, turn everything on, and we got some green. All right, so let me get all these levels now set up. I'm assuming this is now the overnight low. Yes. Where is our previous day low? You guys get to watch while I set up here for tomorrow, New York session. All right, so 7 a.m. we dropped all the way down to 901. That's close enough. That's 901. Where's previous day close? Sorry, guys. I honestly wasn't planning on live streaming tonight, but somebody woke me up for a good cause. All right, 145. We closed that 2310. We didn't close too far from Tuesday. It's 2310. Right. Okay, current overnight high, I'm assuming is somewhere around here. Overnight high is right here. And previous day high is right there. All right. I think we got it. These were the trades from this morning. If you guys didn't watch the morning session, I got a couple paper cuts on this flush down. Finally got a long here for 50 points. But that was a brutal wait, frustrating wait. But I did end up in the green this morning on New York. And then now I'm here for the overnight session. Like I said, that other JC sent me a text, woke me up, and took a nice little long here, targeting that 74, 75 area. I'm sorry, not that. The 910 area. That's the level I was looking at. And got 30 points there. So let's see what happens. We're at VWAP. We're at the 200 SMA on the 5 minute. If we take a look at the 5 minute, we just hit the 9 and we're getting some rejection there. Attempting to push up. But what I do know from experience, if you guys, depending on how long you've been watching, a couple weeks ago, Friday, I got caught in the Canada tariff news. That was maybe it was last week, last Friday. It was either last Friday or the Friday before. Trump, again, talked about Canada tariffs, and I got caught without a stop and took some pretty, I think it was like $1,200 or $1,300 in drawdown. And I was waiting for the bounce. I was like, there's no way Canada News will hold. It's just a knee-jerk reaction. Well, I ended up having to close in the loss. Eventually, I waited for the bounce area and caught the bounce and recovered. But long story short, Canada News does not stick on tariffs. So you'll get the knee-jerk reaction, then you're waiting for the bounce. I played this level here and went for quick 30 points for that 9-10 area. All right. So during the New York session this morning, I've been talking about this range, right? 800 to 2,300. We attempted to get out of that 2 days ago, right? That was that crazy move up, right back down. We came into this $800 to $2,300 range. We pumped right back out, came back in, support. This was that long from was it last night that I ended the stream and then the bounce happened? Well, off stream, you know how frustrated I was on the live stream playing that bounce. Literally, I closed the stream and I saw that it moved a little bit further down. What happened here? And I played the bounce and obviously recovered there and got some green. But yeah, it was frustrating. I remember that pivot point. The pivot point bounce, and it just wasn't happening. I closed the stream, and then right after that, it dropped like another 5 or 10 points, and then the bounce started to play out. All right, so we're back to, this is this morning. Here we go, today. iGamer, what up, brother? Blame it on that other JC. I was in bed enjoying watching some TV, and I got the text. Canada, tariff news. Market's going to crash. I was like, all right, Canada? That news doesn't hold. Let's long it. So I took a little long here for 30 points. I'm up already 600. Let me turn off my trade copier. I'm going to lock in that profit. I'll trade one account tonight. iGamer, yeah, brother. I had some paper cuts. I finally got the nice trade at the end for, I think it was like 50 points, and recovered and got some green. Not a lot of green, but got some green. But I definitely battled that one today. It wasn't as easy as the day prior. The day prior was one and done trade. That was, when was that? Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday or it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I had that one and done trade for 45 points. All right, so let's see if there's anything going on after the tariff news. See what patterns we can come up with here. And how much they're respected tonight, since we're coming off of news. For me, it's Apex. I know everybody hates Apex, but for me, the only one that, for whatever reason, I still managed to get payout after payout is Apex. Take Profit Trader, I blew last month, and I've been giving Take Profit Trader a break. Tradeify, I was on a run on Tradeify December through like March, on a roll, payout, straight to fundeds, and then I blew. I think I had 5 straight to fund. How many does Tradeify allow? I had 5 straight to funded on, whether it's 3 or 5. I forget what the maximum with Tradeify is. Again, December through like March, payout. I was on a roll. And then March, I blew them all. I bought 2, blew them again, and I was like, you know what? Let me give Tradeify a break, and I haven't been back on Tradeify straight to funded. So Apex for me, Take Profit Trader. My Achilles heel, though, and I don't know why, Topstep. Topstep, I was on a roll in 2023 and beginning of 2024. From like July 24 I just get an Express account. I maybe get a payout and blow it. It's that damn daily loss limit because I'm on Rhythmic. I don't use Project X or whatever they call it, Topstep X. So I'm on Rhythmic. I gotta play by their daily loss limit. Topstep is just that one that there's something about. That's why I refuse to buy them anymore. I've blown enough Topstep this year that I gave up. Yeah, I blew 5 Tradeify around, like I said, December through like March on a roll with Tradeify, straight to funded, payout, payout, payout. March or April, I blew them all. Then I think I bought 1 or 2, blew them again, and I was like, you know what? Let me give straight to funded a little break. And to be honest with you, April, May, and June were tough. I don't know if it was the market, everything going on in my personal life. I don't know what it was. But June was the first month, June this year was the first month that I did not get a payout from any prop firm. The whole month of June, broke. No payout. January through May, payouts, no problem. This was the first month, and I'd say probably at least a year. You know, every month I would get a payout, whether it's a big one or a small one. Sometimes it's just $1,000, $2,000, whatever. But June, not even $500, not even $300, no payout. So we'll see. I just submitted a payout for Apex yesterday, but I'm expecting to be denied. There was a trade last Friday. Oh, well, the trade that I'm talking about with Canada, I got caught without a stop, and my drawdown on that trade was higher than 1,300. So even though I have 150Ks, I think I may be denied because my drawdown for that trade was over 30%, which is fine. If I get denied, then I'll just have to trade another 8 days, but we'll see. All right, we got excited and now it slows down. So let's see. Mr. Schwartz, welcome to the stream, brother. I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't planning to. Missed that other JC tempting me with this Canada tariff, and I hopped on a quick little bounce and up already 30 points on a mini here. But we'll see if there's anything else to this tonight. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I even made a video for that other JC. I was like, I'm gonna get it, 30 points, thank you. You guys are all welcome to text me when the news is where the money's at. Especially Canada. Nothing against Canada, but Canada news won't hold. We know that. We know that from last week when I was caught with my pants down without a stop, and Canada news flushed. Same thing. It flushed, I think, 200, 300 points, and then right back up. All right, what am I looking for? I don't know. It's so news-driven. Let's see. Levels, we're at VWAP. Let's see. Can we target 23,000 again? Are we going to continue in this little ascending channel that we're now slowed down to like snail pace over here? Well, we got excited, we got a little bounce, and back to Asia. Oh man, but grateful. We got a little bit of green here already. We got our 30 points. Yeah, man. Fireworks show's over. I think that's it. Well, now, let's hope we get a little more action in this. Otherwise, I'm going to have a lot of conversation tonight. MV23, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you, brother. All right, well, we're back in this range that I've been talking about now for a couple of days, right? 800 to 23,000, call it. We've been in that range for a good part of the week. Thursday, Friday last week, we attempted to get out on, was it Monday or Tuesday with that? Yep, right here with this push up. That was my pivot point long, and then the brutal rejection. As soon as I saw this, I was like, I'm out, I'm done. One and done trade here. Then we came back into this range, right? The 800 to 23,000. We came into it, pushed right out, came back, tested. This was last night's session when I got frustrated with these longs. Eventually, I got off stream and I saw that it dropped 5 or 10 points, and then the bounce played out, and I got the bounce. Of course, I went in with leverage at that point and recovered the little bit that I had lost on these two longs. But I did get the long afterwards off stream with some points, with some contracts. I think I did 2 or 3 contracts there. And again, back to this range, right? We hovered around the overnight, not dipping back into the range. Today's session, we came out, we pushed up. Then today, we got back that dropped right into this range again. Got out of that range, right? That 23,000. We pushed right back up to 23,000. That was the recovery trade for 50 points here on that bounce. And then we hovered in this area for a good part of the afternoon. I was done by then. And then obviously the Canada tariff brought us back to the bottom of this range. So we're literally back to Thursday, Friday last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. This range right here, 800 to 23,000, unable to get out of there. We got tempted on Monday with that nice little pop to come right back down. They played it nasty. That push up and that brutal flush down was nasty on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. But now Canada tariff brought us lower into that range. We tested came close to testing the bottom of that range around 800. What is it, 30? Now we're pushing up. I'm not going to chase this at this point. I'm okay with the 30 points I got here. Now I'm just watching to see if we're going to get any type of rejection, maybe a test of that pivot point again for a bounce. But bears just had the catalyst to finally get out of this range to the downside, which the bulls have been refusing to allow all week. So if bears had a chance to finally push out of that range, this was their chance with Canada, with the Canada tariff. Unable to push below this range, right? So bulls have been relentless. They've been brutal in terms of a lockout rally. Very minimal pullbacks for over, a week? Going into 2 weeks now? That's an insane lockout rally. And they just had the catalyst to make their move to push below a critical level. Didn't happen. La Renko Reina, bienvenida. Welcome to the stream. So we pushed, they got the catalyst. Again, immediate bounce. Well, it doesn't mean we can't come right back down. Stinky Bananas, how was your experience with FTT? How was my experience with FTT? Why don't give me 2 seconds to answer that. I'll be right back. I'll show you how was my experience with FTT. Give me a second. All right, we're back. How was my experience with FTT? Can you guys see this? Oh, I can't show my name. Hold on. Let me just make sure no personal info is here. No. Does it show? I'm part of that class action lawsuit against Fast Track Trading. I keep getting all their updates. I'm sure some of you as well. They've sold all the cars. Well, whatever cars they were able to get, the trustees been able to auction those cars off. The Babe Ruth baseball card was sold. So basically, we get updates. Whoever is in this class action lawsuit gets updates on everything they've been auctioning off. I did get payouts with Tradeify. You guys saw the videos last year. I was not denied. I was rug pulled on my last payout. 20 accounts, $2,000 each. Got rug pulled there. So we'll see. We'll see what that class action lawsuit does. I highly doubt everybody will get the amount rug pulled. We're all probably going to get pennies, but that's the answer. I was rug pulled just like everybody else. All right. Moving on. All right. Well, looks like the fireworks are over. We are back in the middle. I'm not going to fiddle in the middle of a range, right? Let's see if we can get out or pop underneath tonight. Yeah, brother, we unfortunately all did. We were all hoping or trusting FTT CEO. I know I fell for it. I trusted the guy. I honestly thought that he was going to be able to pull it off, and other traders realized a lot sooner. I probably was one of the last ones to really realize, oh man, this is not going to happen. They're going to go belly up. Unfortunately, they did. TFD. Who's TFD? The funded. Who's TFD? Yeah, I get these little bankruptcy updates. They're hilarious. What they auction off. Oh, futures desk. No. I think out of the new prop firms, I am trying out Lucid. Fidius I want to try. Right now I'm trading Funded Futures Network, which I'm really starting to like. They're only rhythmic, but it works perfectly because I do Quant Hour. And whatever Tradeivate account I have, I use Tradesyncer. King Caesar, bro, you beat me. 850 up on that pump. Oh wait, oh no, you're talking about this morning. 850 on that pump that you shorted across 3 XFAs, heading out to the beach now. Have a good night. No, I longed it. King Caesar, I longed it. This right here is a long. I longed it. I wasn't even going to trade tonight. It was thanks to that other JC who got me out of bed. I was at the pool earlier with the kids and was planning to take the evening off, but if you want to wake me up, tell me that there's news, good or bad. The market's moving. I'll turn everything on for you. As soon as I heard Canada's not sticking, and yeah, don't short the news. All right, so we're hoping we get a little more price action here. I'm already comfortably in the green, 600 across my accounts, the accounts that I copy traded. Let's see if we can get something else, but I need a little bit more momentum. Do me a favor, if you're new to the stream, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. Us little YouTubers do rely on you guys to beat the YouTube algo. So by you liking, subscribing, helps me out. Appreciate you. All right, King Caesar, good luck, buddy. That's the way to do it. Wait for the news, play the reversal, call it a day. La Renko Reina. Why do I think I know who La Renko Reina is? Bro, you're funny, bro. Let me All right, we slowed down, guys. Fireworks show is over. Now we're back to Asia session price action. Let's see what happens. What would I be looking for here? 910, 912 pivot point. Come back, test that area. So my exit was based on that pivot point, right? What did I exit at? 910. This is a pivot point on the 15, well, most of your time frames. So maybe come back and test my original out this long. Come back and test, which coincides with the bottom of this channel, and maybe I'll entertain a long. Gotcha. I wasn't too far off. Un saludito para la comunidad peruana, Chipú, Callao. All right, guys. I don't know, man. Slowing down here, so I'm gonna have to be a little patient on this pivot point. I paid with some paper cuts last night, front running a pivot point. So I think I'm not gonna do that during the Asia session. Let's get strict here. I'll wait for 9. Call it my TP over here, 9. That 910, 912 area, and maybe we'll entertain a long there, which would be the test of that pivot point. In other words, we blew through the pivot point, came back and test, and then your bounce. Yeah, Asia, bro. That's why I'm saying this shows you how much in control the bulls are. You just got the catalyst for the bears to finally make the move below this 800, right? I don't know how, some of you probably this is the first time watching, but I've been talking about this 800, that's why I have it on my charts every day, 800 to 23,000 range. We were stuck there since Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, we got that, was it Wednesday or Tuesday? We got that pop up and right back down. This area defines anything above bullish, anything below bear. We're right in the middle, and the catalyst was given to the bears to flush tonight. It helped. That's as far as they got. Shows you the lockout rally. The bulls are in control. Don't mess with them bulls. That's why this whole week I've been longing. And I paid this morning trying to long this freaking fallen knife. I eventually got it for 50 points, but that was a torturous trade. I had to wait for almost an hour or more on that, waiting for TP to get hit. Well, I think we're going to be chatting a lot tonight. So if you guys have any topics, let's go. Because the market ain't moving now. I'll wait for 9:10 to get interested, somewhere around here in a possible long. If we flush below that pivot point, then maybe bears do want to push this further down. My funded futures, I don't know if there's a better prop. I think there are better props, or your kind of go-to props. Every prop has their rules, right? Every prop has a different rule to get you, whether it's a micro scalping rule, whether it's a 30% consistency rule, 20% consistency rule. You just got to find the props that pay. My funded futures is a prop firm that pays. And make sure you like the rules. I think right now the go-to prop firms are probably number one. If you don't have an account with Tradeify, I mean, they pay within 15-20 minutes. Every payout that I've requested with Tradeify, 15-20 minutes. 1 hour at the most. So I would base, when you ask what are the best prop firms, I would base it on which prop firms pay with minimal issues. Tradeify has not denied a single payout yet, other than flat out fraud, and that's what Brett Simba has mentioned a couple times. But as far as Tradeify is concerned, no payout denials. Take Profit Trader, I haven't heard about payout denials. They've had a couple of delays in their customer service. They went through very recent. They went through a growth phase. Everybody was buying Take Profit Trader accounts, and their customer service got overwhelmed. But other than that, payouts within 24, 48 hours max. So that's another one. My funded futures, I don't trade my funded futures. I think it's one of those that I'm eventually going to use. I already have so many that I copy trade with, but I've heard great things about my funded futures in terms of payouts. But find the prop firm where the rules work with your trading style. For me, and that's just for me, Apex continues to be the breadwinner for me. Because of the leverage, because of the multiple accounts. Topstep, up until recently, I think Topstep was a great prop firm. It was, there's something about Topstep and me, we just couldn't get along trading. I had payouts in 2022 and the beginning of 2023. Then, for whatever reason, I could not trade Topstep and keep accounts. And it's basically the daily loss limit. I don't use Topstep X. I would use Quantower, another Rhythmic connection, and that daily loss limit. So I laughed. If you guys watched my Topstep video, I mentioned Topstep disconnecting from Tradeivate, and they gave some stats on Project X and how the majority of their traders are on Topstep X already, and they also get more payouts and they're more consistent. I'm like, of course you get more payouts. They don't have a daily loss limit. It shows you that a daily loss limit hurts traders. That's the only reason Topstep only offers Project X or Topstep X without daily loss limit. Every other platform, you had that damn daily loss limit. And that's why I couldn't do it with Topstep. I gave up. And I was not going to trade Topstep X. That's one thing I will not ever trade is Project X because of the data sharing. I copy trade a lot of accounts. I use Tradesyncer. I don't need to be. I've seen this without mentioning prop firms. I've been in Discords for not Topstep, but other prop firms that use Project X. And you get these little statements, oh, you're denied a payout because your IP was flagged for blah, 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 blah. And the trader's like, how do you even know that I'm trading another prop firm? Because you're using Project X. And I watch this and I'm just quiet. I'm like, not mentioning which prop firm, that's not my job to do. But whenever you see denials based on IP, the this whole little VPN clause that some of these prop firms are using, or group trading, it's because of Project X. They can share this information and very good. Oh, you're copy trading on another prop firm. We technically don't allow copy trading. It gets you in trouble. So that's the only reason I will not trade any prop firm with Project X. My go-to is Rhythmic, because I use Quantower, and Tradeify, which I'll use Tradesyncer to copy trade. Project X, you got to pay me to be on Project X. I got to try my funded futures. To be honest with you, I got a couple of props that are in my next wave. My funded futures, Phidias, the trading desk. There's another one that I just affiliated with that hold on. Legends. I've heard good things. I don't know if you guys follow JMU on X. I was talking to him on some of these reliable new props. In other words, you got to be careful with new props, but there are new props that are legit right now. Phidias is one of them. Legends is one of them. And there's one more. Why am I going blank? Legends, Phidias are the new ones that I want to try probably as early as next week. So my next round, or the next round of props that I'm going to be adding, are my funded futures, Legends, Phidias, and there's one more. Why can't I figure it out? Oh, they're in my Discord, that's why. But again, be careful with new props. Make sure you're in their Discords. Make sure you're literally, when I look at a new prop firm, I go into the Discord, I type in the word payout denial, and I see, and I search Purdia Capital. Purdia Capital is very, they're taking the live funded approach a little more serious. In other words, as the main emphasis. So I'm going to give them a shot. I've been talking to them very recently. So Legends, Phidias, and Purdia. But again, new props, be careful. Make sure you get a payout before you buy 2, 3, whatever accounts. Start with one, get a payout, then decide if it's worth it for you or not. Funded Futures Network, only Rhythmic. I have had no issues. Great Discord, quick payouts. Can't say I've had issues with them. Their Funded Futures Network is it's a prop that's been around for a while. They just don't do too much advertising. It reminds me of a Bulenox. Bulenox, behind the scenes, right? Very quietly, they pay, and they got a lot of traders getting payouts there without issues. Funded Futures Network is kind of like one of those props that doesn't really do a lot of marketing, but they do well with the little bit that they do. But again, if you're going to start with a new prop, not one of those established ones like the ones we just talked about, like Tradeify. Tradeify, man, I can't say anything negative. It's a prop firm that doesn't have a payout denial to date. Other than flat out fraud. That's Tradeify. Pays within 20 minutes. Exhaust the prop firms that you know are paying. Those are Tradeify, Take Profit Trader. Although I don't trade with my funded futures, I hear, and people are commenting in the chat right now, my funded futures pays. Go with the prop firms that are paying. Minimal payout denials. Then, once you've exhausted those props, or you're close to their payout caps, or you're being moved to live, then diversify with some of the new ones or more risky ones, but only start with one. Only start with one account, get your payout first, then decide. Don't go all in with 5, 10 accounts and then you get rug pulled, like we had recently with what's it called, Thrive. There's another one that I'm not touching for now, and I'm not affiliating for now. Prop Shop. I've heard of them. I've been approached. I'm just playing neutral right now with Prop Shop. Got to see some payouts first. Again, not saying anything negative. Everything so far looks like they're good. I've heard great things. I've seen payouts on social media. It's just I'm giving them a little. I got time to diversify with them. Oh, iGamer already, brother. Look at you, man. You're milking those props. Good stuff. So hopefully that answers your question. Wilson Kondo, day traders denied a payout to my wife and she was banned day trader as well. We didn't know that we can get only one account per house. Oh, yes. That is in there, to be fair. And that's the other thing, since we're talking about new props and which one's good and which one's not. You guys gotta read. It's annoying, but you gotta go into the FAQ and read everything. Every prop firm has different rules when it comes to the number of accounts in a household, right? Some prop firms are lenient. You can have husband and wife with different names under the same address behind the same IP. Again, Project X, that's why I don't touch it. I don't want another prop firm to know my IP. My wife also trades. Maybe I shouldn't disclose this on YouTube. But anyways, let's say you have a scenario where your wife trades as well. Doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are hedging or doing any scheming or scamming. I honestly don't know what trade she takes. She's upstairs and, she does her style, and her style, to be honest with you, is completely different than mine. She has a long, she'll play 100 points, and she'll probably do it once or twice a week. And she has this little system, way more profitable than I am. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, make sure you know the rules by prop firm on household rules. Don't blindly think that you can have a husband and wife or girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, whatever you want to call it, behind the same address, behind the same IP. Because remember, your IP is what matters. Let's say your wife, you guys are trading the same prop firm and you're accidentally trading at the same time. You're not necessarily copying each other's trades. The worst part is you're actually doing different strategies. You're in a long, she's in a short. Well, guess what? Even though it's your wife, you guys are hedging according to a prop firm. Be very careful with same props trading at the same time. We specifically have schedules. You can't trade this prop firm, or you can only trade this prop firm. I don't open an account with Topstep anymore because that's her baby. Yep, address and KYC. So yeah, you got to read those rules. I think all of them, to be fair, lay out the rules when it comes to how many accounts per household, right? Remember the fast track days? You could have 20 accounts on your personal, 20 accounts for your wife, 20 accounts on an LLC. Those were the good old days, man. Oh, anyways, Apex allows 20 accounts in a household, right? If you remember last year, you would always see me with 19 PAs. Everybody's asked, why do you always have only 19? Well, guess who had one account? Her. So I always had 19 with Apex. So yes, be aware of the household limitations per prop firm. And we separate prop firms now. She trades certain ones, I trade certain ones. Because it's risky. If you're going to use Project X, it's even riskier. Because let's say, I'm not mentioning prop firms, but let's say both of you are trading Project X on X. One of you is on XYZ, the other one's on ABC prop firm. She could be in her room, you can be in your office, but in the eyes, you're both behind the same IP, and they don't know if it's two different people or if it's group trading. You're hedging, you're creating opposite positions, right? Not on purpose. It doesn't necessarily have to be on purpose. But in the eyes of these individual prop firms, because they have access now to Project X, they can identify your IP and realize, oh, wait a minute, this person, this IP, it's not even a person. This IP address at 1059 had a long position with XYZ prop, and there was a short position as ABC prop. You're hedging. In their eyes, you're hedging. Even though it's two different people, two different rooms, completely not even collaborating, trying to figure out positioning. That's how you get yourself in trouble, and I've seen it. I'm not mentioning the prop firm. I've seen the Discord. Because traders are on Project X, they're getting denied based on their IP. That's the only reason I will not touch Project X or Topstep X. Just refuse. But that's my opinion. I think it's on the stream. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. And my legal disclaimer is, this is my opinion. I don't know any of this for a fact. All right. Got the legal part out of the way. All right, are we going to drop? Are we going to come and test the pivot point? Are we going to get some trade, or is this just like slow? But anyways, Daniel, who was it that asked that question? Wilson Kondo. I think hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, it does get tricky with households and two people trading behind the same address and the same IP. Also, credit cards. Wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend living behind the same address. Make sure you buy your accounts with your name and your credit card. If your wife has her own account, let's say with Topstep, and it's under her name, and you got your own account and it's under your name, make sure the credit cards for each side are separate. Don't tell your wife, honey, go ahead, I know you blew your account. Here's my card. Go buy 10 more accounts with my credit card. The name has to be on the same account. The name on the credit card has to match the name on the account. Topstep has been known to deny payouts because they go back and see that, the boyfriend let the girlfriend use his card to buy accounts. Well, the girlfriend is, I don't know, Samantha Parker, and who's John Smith's credit card is paying for this? Nope, doesn't work that way. And they put that in the contract. It's in your contract. In other words, this is not something new. They all have that. You got to pay with your name, your credit card, your billing address. All right, let's go back. Of course, man, I got to do the hair. You guys got a whole week of me scruffy, not shaving. You guys got to see the baseball hat, everything. I'm back, man. I got to take a shower. Got to do the hair. Greg Duncan, my funded futures is good. I didn't like Legends, but I did get a payout from them. Greg, I haven't started trading with Legends. Why did you not like Legends? Yeah, Tradeify. I can't, especially if you're a new trader or you're just starting out trading, or you just have maybe 2 or 3 accounts. Tradeify pays, no denied payouts, great culture, great following. Stick with the ones that pay at the beginning. When you really need to diversify, you really need to get 10, 15, 20 accounts, then start looking for some of the newer ones. Obviously, there's more risk with those. But if you're still in the 2, 3 account stage, stick with the ones that pay. Well, I think you guys are gonna hear me yap for a good part of the night. How long have we been on? 1 hour? Slow. This is just way too slow for me. Way too slow. So, in the meantime, if you're new to the stream, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. More importantly, if you really want to help me out with the YouTube algo, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post content. I live stream from Arizona, 3 hours behind. This is week 3 of my live stream journey here on YouTube. Although I've been trading futures for some time now, or for some years now, this is week 3 of finally live streaming every single day. Although I've been on and off, I would hop on for a day or two and then disappear for a month. I've been consistent. This is week 3 every day. I've been 2 weeks in a row, Monday through Friday. God willing, if I can connect tomorrow morning, that would be completing 3 full weeks, Monday through Friday, live streaming. And it's the beginning of my journey, so feel free to subscribe, hop on the stream, or watch my content whenever you can. Just a newbie here, futures trader on YouTube, live streaming, week 3. We'll see where this goes. But I do appreciate everybody who's tuning in. I know there's a lot of talented traders streaming now or in the morning. So thank you for tuning in and spending some time with me here. Getting emotional because the market's not moving. Also, I'm sure you guys are seeing the ads. You're welcome to use code JCDT. That's JCDT for JC Day Trader. It does help the channel. As you know, affiliates do get commission on that. And you get a little discount there, but you also support the channel. So feel free to use JCDT on some of the prop firms that I trade. And no action tonight. Greg, if I'm not mistaken, you're here in Arizona too, right? For some reason, your name rings a bell from the past. And let me just make sure I've answered or responded to anybody. I don't want to be rude. Just, I get caught up yapping away, and sometimes I miss the comments. Guys, I wish there were more fireworks. I honestly got excited with the Canada news, and I was like, you know what? Maybe we're going to get some action, but I can't trade this. If you trade New York session, you can catch me every day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Again, this is week 3. I live stream Monday through Friday, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, New York session. Win, lose, or draw. There's been a little bit of everything. I've had wins. I've had easy wins. I've had dragged out wins. I've had losses. I've had brutal losses. I've had recoveries. Pre-tilt. I haven't gone on tilt yet. Usually when I'm about to go on tilt, you'll see me run for the hills. All right, guys, I'm done. Have a great day. Got to lock it in, and goodbye. Close the stream and probably revenge trade after that. But during the live stream, you see my entries, you see my exits. It's all live. 9:15 a.m. Eastern. And then Asia session I'll do every now and then. This is my family time. But I'll hop on. I was hoping for more price action today. Unfortunately, we're not getting it. And may have to call it early. All right, unfortunately, it's too slow for my style. I mean, I know it's Asia and it's slower, but see what happens at that pivot point that I mentioned, 912, 910. I'm not front running anything tonight. I learned last night. I'll wait for levels to get hit before I make decisions. Yeah, I'm waiting for the pivot point touch. Pivot point touch is around 915, 910 area. So around here. Which is also, did I set this already up with previous day low, or is that previous day low from the day before? No, this is, previous day low is accurate, right? 904, yep. It happened at 7 a.m. Okay. So obviously with bears, for the bear thesis to build, you would have to close below previous day low and stay down here. So are they going to use the Canada news as the catalyst to start making some moves to the downside? Or are we just going to test the pivot point for the recovery of the Canada news? So we do something like boom, boom. All right, that other JC's wife is short. Let's go. Little flush to touch that pivot point. Pivot point's a magnet. We're pretty close. I don't see why not. He's slow. Catching up on my news here, guys. Waiting for the market to do something. I don't know I don't know. I can't entertain anything here. I'm not front running tonight. I'll have to wait for this area, that 910 pivot point, before I make decisions. I already played the bounce, targeting that pivot point. In other words, we flushed, came back down here, I entered, and targeted that pivot point as my out. That was a quick 30 points. So I'm open to entertaining the test of that pivot point for the bounce. That test can become a break to the downside, so we'll see. Yeah, flat for now, unless we get something. You guys are gonna hear me yapping away because I can't trade this. I get it, it's Asia and that's how it moves, but I'd like to see something better than this. All right, so we're in a what? 908, 10, 12 point range. Middle of this channel was resistance, flip to support, resistance, flip to support, support. So let's see as it fades down to that 910, 905 area, which is the pivot point. So we'll probably see something like this, and then comes right around here. I may entertain a long, but do I really want to scalp for 10 points for an hour? That's how long it's going to take. That other JC, which banger trade? Are you talking about this one? I only copy traded Rhythmic. Or a couple of accounts on Rhythmic. I didn't even get a chance to turn on Tradesyncer. Wow. Party's over. Party is over. That other JC, indeed, man. You can text me on news anytime. I'll wake up for news. But unfortunately, this is way too slow, guys. All right, so still continue to play in this descending channel. I would look at, again, this 905, 910 area, but if we're moving this slow, I mean, do I really want to scalp for an hour for potential 10 points up or down? Naif, how you doing, brother? Wow. Dead. Looks like the tariff news is all we're getting tonight. Naif, how you doing, brother? It's we're watching turtles move here tonight. Crazy. Ooh, is it going to break out of that range? That price channel? Bulenox option is 91%. All right, thank you. Honestly, I don't keep track. Should keep track. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix that right now. Appreciate you. Bulenox. Here we go. All right. Thank you, sir. That has been updated. Yes, 91% for option 1 with code JCDT. All right, we're getting a little pop here. Breaking out of this channel, coming back into the larger channel that we were monitoring. But way too slow. Yeah, it's been hovering back and forth on VWAP. VWAP just flatlined. Wow. Got a flat VWAP. That is no volatility with a flat VWAP. Well, guys, I was really hoping for more fireworks. I think tonight's going to be one of those grab the little bit of profit I got and come back tomorrow morning, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. If you're new to the stream, smash that like, smash that subscribe, help me out with the YouTube algo. I do the Asia session every now and then, but I am doing New York, 9:15 a.m. Eastern every single morning. Live stream from Arizona, which is 3 hours behind most of you, or 3 hours behind New York Eastern. It's painful. This is painful. Well, we didn't get the touch that I wanted. I was hoping for a pivot point touchdown at 9:10, 9:12. And looks like we're breaking out here. If they're just going to V-recover the whole move, the Canada tariff, then we'll just continue on a slow grind to the upside. But for now, it looks like Canada news is not holding. There goes the bounce. Now it's waking up. I'm not chasing it though. I was waiting for 9:10. for the entry, and it's going to take off here, then it is what it is. It's like she's taking off. But you got the 200 SMA right there. And the bulls push through that, or are we going to take a little pullback here, a stronger pullback at that level? At 950 area. Look at the 30-minute. You got the 200 SMA waiting there right there as well. Nothing. It's almost, you got to pick direction, get in and set a stop, set a TP, and go to bed. Too slow. Too slow, guys. Do appreciate everybody tuned in, but way too slow for me to participate in this. Right, hitting that 200 SMA. Will the 200 be the resistance for a stronger flush? Possibly test this pivot point, which is what I'm waiting for. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. What do we have on the 5-minute? Okay, looks like they're pushing. They've definitely, if you look at the Fibonacci, they're over 50%, so technically that flush was just a knee-jerk reaction. Like I said earlier, Canada news does not stick. Long it every time. I got stuck in a bad Canada tariff news drop either last Friday or the Friday before. I had to close a losing trade with significant drawdown, but eventually I waited and caught the bounce. Recovered, but it was just one of those things with Canada news. It's always a knee-jerk reaction. Well, you're getting the breakout or coming back into this channel. Still not going to chase it there. If I do want to get in a long, which I am interested in long in this, and I may even play a wide stop, a wide TP, and just call it a night. I'll probably just do it with one account. But I need a stronger pullback for that long. Wow. Little rejection at the 200 SMA. If they're going to continue to ride this channel, then potential, again, I got to wait for the 9-10. I got burned yesterday trying to front run a pivot point. Not doing it again. Although this time I probably would have won, right? Yesterday I tried to front run it by 10 points. In other words, I'm waiting for 905, 910. Yesterday I did the same thing. Not the same thing. I front ran the pivot point by 10 points and I paid. Not only did it touch the pivot point, it flushed further back before it gave the bounce. And today I didn't front run it, and then you get the bounce. You never win. We came down to 918. I was waiting for that 905, 910. But yesterday I got caught front running a pivot point by 10 points. In other words, yesterday I was doing exactly what played out here. I said, we're not going to get the clean pivot point touch. Let me front run it, and I'll play the bounce here. And the bounce, this was what I was looking for last night, and it played out here. Last night, I tried to front run it. Not only did we come back, I had to eat drawdown to hit the pivot point. It flushed below the pivot point, just like it usually does. It gives you an exaggerated flush below a pivot point, and then it bounced. By then the stream was off. I captured the bounce afterwards, but that's why I'm not front running it today, and I would have been in the green 15, 20 points. You never win. All right, let's see if she flushes here. Big little juicy flush. Test this area. too much to ask? Probably. Slow down quick. All right, she's trying to flush there. A little attempt, a little wiki. Little wiki, but too slow. Come on, NASDAQ, do something. Flush. Give us a nice little flush. Get your little sweep. Well, this is interesting. You got area of confluence here, right? You got your 20 SMA and your 200 practically touching. Area of confluence right there. It's going to need momentum to push above that. Otherwise, you'll have some selling pressure there. Build. It's also, if you look at the 30-minute, you look at the 30-minute, right? You got the 9. Where's my 200? And the 200, there it is. It's flatlining. Getting tight. Don't fall asleep. Well, if you're new to the stream, fireworks are done. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post content. I mainly do New York session every day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. I will hop on the Asia every now and then. Today, we're going to thank that other JC for waking me up and giving me the tip that Canada News was killing the market. And hopped on to long it. Captured 30 points there, but faded after that. Slow down completely. All right, guys, tomorrow will be another day. I'll be on at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. I'd love to hang out and trade a little bit, but just too slow. I mean, I get it, it's Asia, but this is beyond slow. So thank you for tuning in. Mr. Other JC, thank you for waking me up. Got a nice little juicy trade thanks to you. Appreciate you, brother. Feel free to wake me up anytime. with this type of news. Everybody else, thank you for tuning in. I know you guys got a lot of streamers to watch, a lot of talented traders out there. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow for 9:15 a.m. Eastern New York session. Other than that, if you don't trade the morning session, it's weekend time for you. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next Monday, hopefully for the Asia. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you and have a great night.